Let's talk about slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is the easiest form of graphing that there is. To be sure an equation is in slope-intercept form, you must make sure that the equation is solved for y, or that y is by itself on one side of the equation. And then the rest of the equation is y equals mx plus b. The m in the slope-intercept equation stands for slope. So the number that's going to come in front of the x is the slope of the line. The b stands for the y-intercept of the equation. When we graph a slope-intercept form equation, we always begin with b. We always graph the b first. Begin with b. Let's look at graphing y equals negative 2/3 x minus 5. We're going to use this graph over here. The m in this equation is the number in front of x, so it would be the negative 2/3. The b in this equation is the constant, or the number alone at the end of the equation, which is negative 5. We always begin by graphing the b first on the y-axis. The b always goes on the y-axis. So let's come and look at this graph. The y-axis runs vertically, so the negative 5 will go right down here. Start by placing a dot at the negative 5. And our slope, which as you recall is negative 2/3, means that from this point we are going to rise negative 2, which means we're going to rise down 2, and that we're going to run or go sideways positive 3. And at that point we place another dot. It's always good to get at least 3 or 4 good solid dots to make a nice long line on your graph. So let's do that again. We're going to go down 2 over positive 3. Down 2 over positive 3. From these 4 points now, we can use a straight edge and connect them to make a nice long line that represents the equation y equals negative 2/3 x minus 5. We can write any equation in slope-intercept form by graphing its by solving its equation for y. So let's take a look at another equation. If we look at 3x minus 5y equals 20. This equation is not solved for y. To solve it for y, we first must move the 3x over to the other side with the 20. So we will subtract 3x. That leaves us with negative 5y equals negative 3x plus 20. To get the y by itself, we must remove the negative 5. The negative 5 is multiplying, so we're going to divide both sides by negative 5. We now have y equals, so what we have next will be in slope-intercept form. We have a negative 3x divided by a negative 5, which gives us a positive 3/5 x. And then the 20 must also be divided by the negative 5. And that gives us a negative 4. So the slope of this equation, if we were to graph it, would be 3/5, and the y-intercept would be negative 4. And that's all you need to know about slope-intercept form equations. Thank you.